Om Sahana
Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinamavitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Asato
Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Guru Vandanam. Shruti Smriti Puranam
Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah.
Now, page 22. We'll go to our Vishnu Shatapadi, or Prarthana Shatapadi.
आज तो इनके दर्शन पहले हो गए परमा जी के इधर देखे कि इधर देखे लोग चंद्रा जी और हनुमान जी आई वाज कंफ्यूज्ड रिकॉर्डिंग सॉरी रिकॉर्डिंग बट इधर तो महागुरु आए थे आई हैव टू सी ओ आपके भी नहीं हुए आप भी बड़े बड़े लोग आए आज तो
Prarthana
आज
Shatapadi.
तो दिन ही बदल गया
Avinayam Apanaya Vishnu
Avinaya Vishnu
Damaya Mana Shamaya Vishaya Murga Trusnam
Dhamaya Manasamaya Krishna
Bhuta Dayam Vistaraya
Bhutadaya Visaraya
Taraya Samsara Sagarataha
Araya Sansara Sagarataha
Divya Duni Makarande
Divya Dhuni Makarande
Parimala Paribhoga Satchidanande
Parimala Paribhoga Satchidanande
Sripati Padara Vinde
Shripati Padarvinde
Bhavabhaya Kedachide Vande
Bhavaya Kedachide
Satyapi Veda Pagame
Satyaveda Padame
Nata Tavaham Namamakhinastvam
Natavaham Namamakhinastvam
Samudro hi tarangaha
Samudro Jarangaha
Vachana Samudro na tarangaha
Vachana Samudro Natarangaha
Udruta Naga Naga Bidanuja Danuja Kula Mitra Mitra Shashi Druste Druste Bhavati Prabhavati
Drushte Bhavati Prabhavati
Na Bhavati Kim Bhavati Raskaraha
Bhavati Bhavati Saraha
Machadi Bira Avatarai
Masyadi Avatarai
Avatara Vatavata Sada Vasudam
Avatarvata
Parameshwara Paripalyo
Parameshwara Paripayo
Bhavata Bhavatapa Bhitoham
Bhavata
Damodara Gunamandira
Damodara Gunamandira
Sundara Vadanara Vinda Govinda
Sundaravadana Govinda
Bhavajaladi Mathana Mandara
Bhavajaladi Matanamandara
Paramam Darapamanaya Tvame
Paramam Dharamaya Tvame
Narayana Karunamaya
Narayana Karunamaya
Sharanam Karvani Tavakau Charanau
Sharanam Karmani Tavakau Charanam
Iti Shatpadi Madiye
Iti Shatpati Madiye
Vadana Saroje Sada Vasutu
Vadana Saroje Sada Vasatu
Vadana Saroje Sada Vasatu
Vadana Saroje Sada Vasatu.
We have been studying the Prakarana Grantha, the hymns or Prarthana, prayers of Shankaracharya. Just to recollect that we have these 6 verses, and the 6 verses have been filled, embedded with each word. Again, each line has a 6 words, and they have a rhythm, rhyme, and vibrations within those 6 verses. It has also an order. It has a Rita, it has a Satya. In order to understand this Grantha, written in a very intuitive way, we need to understand what is all about. It's all about that. And that is the Brahman. And that is the universal consciousness. And that is the knowledge. And that is the Anirvachaneyam, Adbhutaha. Whatever you call it as a self, or you can call it Almighty or the God. And we also talked about that is the only one. And that's the only one, everything one. And that one become many because he looked at himself. And why? Because that is his Swarupa. That is his own nature. And when we call that Almighty as a Brahman, his nature is Sat Chit Ananda. So we have noted that up to that one. That one clearly explained in the first verse. In the first verse is the one Avinaya Apnaya. And the second verse then becomes when you looked at himself, it is a shadow, it's a reflection. And yesterday we recalled there are 2 consciousness we talked about. First one is
OC.
the original consciousness, OC. Second one is reflective consciousness. In simple terms, subject, object. In simple terms, the original one and a shadow. The thing and the shadow. That and a shadow. That was beautifully explained in the Divya Dhuni Makarande, the second line. Then we went. Now see, there is only one, but it became 2. Apparently. It's always one, but it became 2 apparently. Then we have to make a samanvaya. Equal. 1. And that samanvaya has been beautifully mentioned in the third one, Satyapi Vedapagame. He has explained in that one beautifully. So first 1, then become 2, then they make samanvaya 1. Then in order to understand this process, then he went into the fourth one, Vudruta Naga Vidanuja. And it's a dance, cosmic dance, Shiva dance. It has a sound, light, vibrations. And it has mentioned about vibhutis, his vaibhavas. Once he has that movement, that vibration, and the one which has no breath, a breathless one, breathe. And that has a life Chaitanya. And along with the Chaitanya, when it is dancing, you have that shadow also moving along with you. And we talked about that original consciousness and a reflective consciousness. Original is one, only one. But reflective consciousness may be many. When the sun is the only one and reflecting into the multiple ponds and the pots in the water, they are multiple. But sun is one. The one you are seeing on the multiple is like jivatmas. All jivas. All other non-jivas, everything is a reflected one. And that beautifully explained in that one, both ways, and the sun and the moon. And those 3 Agnis we talk about. The sun is the one, and the other one is the spark, and the third one is the Agni on the Bhumata. These 3 are the one also reflected light. It is like when we have a small candle light or any diya, that in front of big light, it is another light. What are you seeing with this light? Are you able to see that sun with that? But sun is responsible for this. Like that, all these 3 also reflected, and there is a light of lights, and that explained, that's number 1, verse is the Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is the one, and reflection is the Lakshmi, There is a Tattvamasi, then Vaibhavas, and now we are going into avatars. And those avatars is the most important part of it. Now, why these avatars? Matchadi Vinavatarai means thou started with the matsya, the fish. But before we understand these avatars, we need to just recollect or reminiscence of that Bhagavad Gita, because that is the known and well-known kind of avatara we all know, Lord Krishna, which is the 8th avatara on that. And that has been explained beautifully with the Tattvamasi, the 3rd line, Tattvam Asi. And there are 18 chapters, first 6 chapters is the Tvam, that's you. And then you have the middle one, that, Tat, and Asi is the last one, Samanvayam. First 6 chapters, second 6 chapters, and third 6 chapters. Now it is not just haphazardly put it that. Every scripture in Hindu or Sanatana Dharma is built up with a rhythm and a dance and a singing. And that type of rhythm is maintained in everything, so also in this Prarthana Shatapadi. Let us see what's the rhythm they maintain. Briefly for 1 minute we can talk about in the Bhagavad Gita. That 18 is 1 becomes 8. 1 is the only one, the Brahman. The 8 is nothing but Pancha, Bhuta, plus you have mind, then intellect, and the I, which is Ahankara. And these 3 combined with the 5 becomes the 8. It's the play of 1 with the 8. Then when you mix those 8 and 1, that 9 number is the highest number, and that's the beginning of the creation. Is the first creator is the Brahma. The Brahma number is the 9. And that 18 were built up in such a way that, first of all, it becomes with the Vyavaharika, and it takes to the 18th chapter as a Paramarthika. From the individual soul, from individual consciousness to highest consciousness, that original consciousness. How did he take it? Lord Krishna did not just say that this is the way you just learn. Built up question to question. And that Shishya, who is the Arjuna, he is behaved just like us. And being a Kshatriya, he went there. And then all of a sudden he gets all this, mamakara. Why do I kill my own father, grandfathers and, gurus and other things. Suddenly, he is a Kshatriya and he has won many wars before. He did not get these questions till he came over there. So suddenly he was that, and that's called Karpanya dosham. Karpanya is the miserliness. That miserliness is that you are attached to your mind and body, sensory complex, and that miserliness is it's me and I, it's mine type of miserliness is called Karpanya dosha. Suddenly he has overcome with that one, and then said, Lord Krishna, I am suffering with this disease called Karpanya, please help me. Up to till 11th sloka, and there is no question of teaching. Till a Sharanagati happened by the Arjuna to Lord Krishna, then only teaching begins in the Bhagavad Gita. Now, when they built up that one, first one, till the Sharanagati is called Vishada Yoga, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Then you have the Sankhya Yoga, second one, analytical one. Why this Vishada? In the analysis, Sankhya Yoga, he will talk about all what is Atma, what is Anatma, what is the truth, what is untruth. Then, in order to understand that one, you have to work. That is Karma Yoga. And work without looking for the results. Just work. Then after that, when he is teaching that, his jnanam is more important, knowing this, what is happening, why Karpanya dosha is happening, why I'm here, why I'm, where are you going from here, all these questions, then he will take you to the Jnana Yoga. So that is a Karma, Jnana, Vibhaga Yoga. That is the 4th chapter. Then 5th chapter goes into Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Because you leave up the work and then just be Sharanagati. He begins that teaching on that one. Then how do you do that? With the Dhyana Yoga. And that is the 6th chapter. Then it takes to that Dhyanam, that knowledge, you take it to 9th chapter as the Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Then you Akshara Abhyasa Yoga. Then you go to the Vidya, what do you call it? Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. Then you will take into the Vibhuti Vistara Yoga. Then after the Vibhuti Vistara Yoga, he takes into the Vishwarupa Yoga, Darshana. Then he goes to the ultimately Bhakti Yoga. Pinnacle of the Bhagavad Gita is in that the Bhakti Yoga. Then Arjuna asked all the question, I know you are telling all these things, but mind is so difficult. What is this mind? How do I control this? You are telling all these things. After showing all this activity, I know that Vishwarupam you have told me, but me as a normal individual, how do I understand all this? Then it goes back into what is Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga. That is the 13th chapter. 14th is what is Gunatrayo Vibhaga. What are the 3 types of Guna, Sattvika, Rajas and Tamas. Then he takes you into the Purushottama Yoga, responsible for that, how the creation took place, how the Gunas took place, how the Panchikarana happened, that he takes into that one. Then once Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, then Purushottama Yoga. Then after the Purushottama Yoga, you have a Daiva, Asura, Sampada or Guna Vibhaga Yoga. Then it takes you Shraddha Trayo Bhaga, and then finally he culminates into original consciousness. That is called Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Now, Lord Krishna in Avatara, and he has told all these things and explained everything, but here in this poem and in this prayer, he says that all this beginning of the Matsya Avataram to the 10 avatars that he has this kind of grace is going to give it to you with all this Nama, Rupa. Nama is a name and Rupa is a shape, whatever the Akara you have. We talked about in the beginning how many Jivarasus are there, how many creatures are there. We have 84 lakhs, right? Apart from the 84 lakhs, you have those all, the different Jagat, living and non-living things also we talked about. We also touched about the 3 entities, that is the interaction of all these things. Jiva, Jagat, Jagadishwara. We talked about all this. Up to this we understood that. Now in this poem I was taking is that is Vishwarupa, is Vibhutis is expressed in different Nama Rupa. Let us see how he has explained through this poem. Complete. And it's equivalent to the Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga that is in the 11th chapter. The 11th chapter is completely he has put into this one. Now when we talk about this, the incarnations, it's also in a Vishwarupam in every, Rupa and the Nama. And let's see how it took place in the Sanatana Dharma, in the Vedic literature, in the Puranic literature. How did it happen? It is, now we are in a era called Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is more mechanical, more yantric, yantras. From mantras to become the yantras. In between there is a lot of tantras happen. But we are in the yantric stage, in a yantra. In the yantric stage, which is the most available yantra we have in our hand, in everybody's hand, iPhone. Right? And then in iPhone itself, I don't know how much you read about the Steve Jobs. iPhone is itself can be explained easy to remember to the human body. Human body, how it is compared to the iPhone. Let's say I is the I, which is the Atma, and P is what? Is the one which is the physical body. And it says, then what is the harmonious? How this physical body with the harmony? Phone, right? Harmony with what? With the object, the duality. The physical body, which is experiencing the duality, is the I with the physical body, objectivity. And what is that? That objectivity is telling it's a non-dual. Non-dual. It's a non-dual and non-violence. And then what is the E stands for? E can be standing for, if you are identified with the body and mind senses, it could be entertainment or it could be enlightenment. And that equipment is our human body. But this human body came just like that, or it is evolution. There are two kinds of theories. One theory is Darwin theory. The other one is a Vedantic theory. Darwin theory says, everybody knows. What is the Darwin theory knows? That one from microorganisms to one thing, that over the evolution, it is become the human being, from the monkey we have become, human being. In a way, it's an evolution of that physical level. It's hard to understand, and scientists cannot prove that. If it's a evolution took place in a sequence, why still we are seeing those monkeys and apes and other things? It should have been completely evolution, right? But if it is in a different stages of that one, why all this, the big animals and other things came and extincted? So that does not fit to that Darwin. But Vedanta, our Vedic knowledge explains beautifully, it is an evolution of the human consciousness. That human consciousness, how it is evolved from the lowest to the highest evolution, is explained through our Dashavatara. Take the Matsyavatara. Matsya is a fish, which is a jala, right? It is a jalachara. In jalachara, the prana and vitality is identified with the water. So that consciousness, which is started with the prana, vibrations, then becomes what? Next one is turtle. Amphibian. Okay? And in that Kurmavatara, in that what happens it has a big shell, it has a big role to do that. In Matsyavatara, all the religions have explained that one. And classically, our Hindu, mythology, how many you remember that the Manu, the Chakravarti, has saved that small patient and it became big, and then with the horn, he has tied it to that when the deluge came, and he has put every kind of Jivarashi. He has put the plant and all those beaches in the Jarayudas, all those we talked about. Every kind of things he put it in that one. It has been explained in every religion. Every religion is the same. And Noah and Ark is the same. So this is ours was years ago, thousands and thousands of years ago. So now that to the kurma, which is amphibian, which is a water animal, as also it comes out. So it is jala, and also it comes into the vana, she shows to even to the forest, all that. And the third one is what? Kurma. The Varaha Avatar. Varaha Avatar. What is that Varaha Avatar? In the Varaha Avatar, but if we talk about the second avatar, we all know, we can relate in the Puranas that how that Varaha actually supported, and Adhisthana, it is a support for the churning of the ocean, which is the ocean, the mountain. They put a naga as a churning machine, and that churning, when they are doing it, it was not stable. The mountain Mandara was sinking, and then this the turtle has to Kurma avatar. Then it has to support. Then when it is a Vara, they say what it supported our all this creation, churning, and when the churning, first thing came what? Pain. Because of the work they are doing on both sides. And then churning the negative and positive forces, what comes the first? Pain. Pain is considered as poison. And the poison who swallowed that one, again the god. They put it in the Nilakanta. Then after the pain followed for what? Pleasure, Amrita. That Amrita is one which needed to be only for the positive forces, not for the negative forces. If you give it to the negative forces, and those negative forces will become more strong, and there will be a problem. So there is always a positive and negative forces, and the bad things will be happening more, then these avatars will be coming again. And it's such a thing that in order to understand this evolution from the water to the amphibian and to the Varaha, and then Varaha lifting the earth. Again, it's a story with the Hiranaksha was pulling that earth down to the ocean, he lifted that one. Then you have both animal and human kind of combination. What is that one? Narsimha. So that evolution of the consciousness has gone from the very beginning to this now man and animal qualities. So now that also has a story. Hiranyakashipu. First is Hiranyaksha, the second was Hiranyakashipu, right? Hiranyakashipu is a brother. And this is, we all know the story of Jaya Vijaya taking over, the avatars also, because the Jaya Vijaya was the gatekeepers. And gatekeepers being there at Vishnu, he did not let them Kumaras to go in. Being so proximity to the Brahman, that universal consciousness, being a Jaya Vijaya at the gate, don't you understand that there is a knowledge called Kumaras? Then you become the ignorant. For the ignorance you have to go through all the janmas. And then those Jaya Vijaya took 3 times. First in Treta Yuga, Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Then in first one in Satya Yuga, which is Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Second one, Ravana Kumbhakarna. And the third one is Shashpala and Dantavakra during the Krishna. And this is the play Purana telling you that when you lose the knowledge and you become ignorant, you are in the dark, you are going to experience the samsara. And this Prarthana Shatapadi again is telling is, this entire poem is telling you, how do I get rid of my samsara? Birth, growth, decline and death. That's called samsara. Because there is no sukha. And that's the reason he is repeatedly praying to God, please take away this samsara. Then goes into the woman avatar. And we talk about extensively about the Vamana. Yesterday, we talked about the Vamana avatar. It's a dwarf consciousness. Then Vamana to next one is what? Parshurama. Parshurama to Rama. Rama to Balarama, Krishna. Either they say Balarama or Krishna, Krishna or Balarama. Krishna is the 8th one, Balarama is the 9th one. Now, there is always a confusion about the Buddha avatar. Balarama is an enlightened one. During the entire Mahabharata, during the war, also you notice that Balarama is an enlightened one. Enlightened one is called Buddha. And there is no Buddha existent in Dwapara Yuga. But again, we can tell you why the Buddha is not considered as a 9th avatara. This is because of this. Satya Yugam, Treta Yugam, Dwapara Yugam, Kali Yugam. Satya Yugam has Dharma standing on 4 legs. And Dharma is the nature of that Brahman. Dharma is nothing but Satya. And when it is walking on the 4 legs, and everything is sattvic, all the gods are mixing very freely among the human beings, everywhere moving here and there on that one. And the second one is Treta Yugam. There is a decline in the Dharma, and the gods are less and less. And then your Dwapara Yuga, again the gods less. And the Kali Yuga, very rarely you find the gods on that one. So there are 4 avatars in the Satya Yuga, 3 avatars in the Treta Yuga, and 2 avatars in the Dwapara Yuga. There is only 1 avatar. More the decline in the dharmic values of those 4 legs, less the godly qualities will be mixing with you. That's why in the Kali Yuga there is a less godly appearances because of the decline of those qualities on that one. And that is the reason, if this Dwapara Yuga has the 2 avatars, and it was happened 3000 BC before, how could be Buddha could be in that avatar? It cannot be. That is one reason. Other one is, the Buddha is in a human, kind of origin, whereas Balarama is a divine origin on that one. How it happened, we all know the story on that. Now, the most important, once it has ascended the conscious level, now we talked about the dwarf, the Vamana, From the evolution of the consciousness level, the next level is the Parashurama. But what happened in the Parashurama time? Because so many Kshatriya kings have been become proud, egoistic, ahankaric, and Parashurama has to teach a lesson. And he did that. Then after that, Rama comes. And when the Rama came, what happened during the Rama time? He is a Kshatriya. And a Kshatriya has to be, nullified with his all Rajasic qualities. He has to be also dharmic. So he did show that how the karma has to be performed according to dharma. So the Rama Avataram has a little bit more evolution into that. And he is a personification of dharma along with the Lakshmana. We talked about that. And then comes the Krishna. And Krishna is more diplomatic one. And, he does not do the karma. And he gives the knowledge. And he, at the same time, the bhakti. So all the unification of bhakti, karma, and jnana, and that's what is taught in the Bhagavad Gita. First 6 chapters is the karma, second 6 chapters is the bhakti, and the third 6 chapters is jnana. Now, with this kind of teaching that took place during this Krishna, and afterwards it happened what the avatara, 9th avatara is the Balarama. When the Krishna was busy engaging both the sons of the, Dhritarashtra and Pandu, he came and he advised that peace yourself. That is necessary now. So he goes away from that one. He never been there. And then he never been there during the war. So he goes into that one. He brings that Shanti, more knowledge and more unification of all these multiple so-called individual conscious souls back to that one. And then now Kalki Avatara, because the decline continued to be decline on those things, now Kalki Avatara is going to come, and then we are only 5,000 years past in this Kali Yuga. We still have to go 427,000 years more, and then we have to go through all these things on that. Now, this constant suffering, because of the samsara, because of the misidentification, we talked about Vidya, Avidya. In Avidya, Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti, that you don't know what it is, and then when you are ignorant, then you suffer. All the suffering is due to the 3 factors. One is self-inflicted. Self-inflicted what is adhyatmic? Yourself. Because you are identified with the body, mind, senses, that's why you are suffering. Because you are forgetting that God, that one. You are believing the shadow. And that's the reason you need to be getting the knowledge at the same time bhakti with the sharanagati on that one. The second one is inflicted by others. It could be your relatives, it could be your friends, it could be fellow other human beings or fellow creatures. They can be hurting you also. And that's called adibhautik. So first is adhyatmic self-inflicted wounds. And then second one is fellow beings inflicted wounds, which is called adibhautik. And the third one, according to your karmic imprints, whatever you did, whatever you sowed, you shall reap. And that one is a karma phala data is who?
Adidaiva.
Adidaiva. That's Adidaivika. And these 3 called tapa traya. Tapa means, suffering. Tapa is a T-A-A-P-A. Tapa is a different. Tapa is one, is a suffering. Tapatrayam. This is Adhyatmic and Adibhautik and Adidaivik. These Tapatrayam, all you have from beginning of the Matsyavatara to now, till Balarama or Buddhavatara, you are coming onto the earth and you have shown your Vaibhavas. You have tried to either protect the Bhaktas who are good in their nature or even uplift the guys who are downfallen and believed in themselves, in their body, mind, including the Ravana. You also uplifted them. So God never punishes. God never punishes you. and neither punishes the bad or gives you that one. He is always Ananda, is always a giver and a booner for either sinner or the saint. So we have to understand that all these things that we are experiencing, whether it is a sukha, dukkha, it is our own karma, our own act. You come with your own baggage. Whatever the baggage you have in the last Janma, you will be carrying that with you. And then God is trying to if you say that, in the Bhagavad Gita says that you just leave up all these dharmas, come back to me, just be Sharanagati with an attitude of prasada buddhi. Whatever is given is a prasada buddhi. And whatever is given, so you have to give it back, that is the Sharanagati. That is Ishwararpana buddhi. As long as you have an attitude of prasada buddhi, that everything is given, whether it is a relation, whether it is a wealth, health, everything is given. It is not you brought this one. It is none, of yours. If you realize that one, then everything that you are doing, according to dharma, according to that knowledge, you are doing the good thing, right? And then once you do the good thing, where is the suffering? There is no suffering, because you realize you are all one and you are playing that one. As yesterday I insisted that you have to realize yourself in me, and that individual consciousness or reflected consciousness is the part of that original consciousness. Once you realize the self in me, in self in all, you don't do any pain to others. And once you realize this is the Satchitananda, you try to educate the other people and try to change yourself. The preacher may not be practitioner.
Yeah.
But the preacher, classically you see that in the football game, now the football season is going on, the guy who is on the sidelines, the coach, head coach, he never played the football game in the past. But he's coaching. He's coaching. He's a preacher, but he's not a practitioner of that one. And likewise, this Paramatma, what is the Paramatma we are talking about? He is the coacher, he is the witness, he is the prompter, he is behind the stage, he is the light. Always the light will be shining on you. And then whether all this now, you all come here, we all come sitting down under the light, we play our role, you are a listener, I am a talker, and tomorrow I am a listener, you are a talker. It doesn't matter. This play will be done, this 1 hour, and you get out, the light will be still on. All this play is only temporary, transient. Like that, our life is also like that. But, and then you pravesha, then you have a pradakshina, you do your own act, then pralaya, you get out. We do it every day, morning to evening. This is the prakriya that we do it. Once we remember that, and then the second line tells that the whole meaning of this, then if you look into that meaning of that, O Supreme Lord, you always protected the life on earth by taking various incarnations, various avatars, like the divine fish, starting with that, ending with the Balarama. And also it's not stopping, it's a cyclic. You are going to come as a Kalki Avatara, and then again Srusti begins. I am frightened. If you have done all these things every time, right now I am frightened because of this samsara, afflictions of the samsara, due to this tapatraya. This tapatraya. Would you not, is a part of your duty, or it is not your nature, you also uplift me? Oh God, just take me back to you. Means, let me not feel the ahankara. We talked about that. I is the original consciousness. I am is the reflective consciousness. If it is I am this, I am that, in a global, all minds together is called Ishvara. It's all Srusti, and that is the global consciousness, cosmic consciousness, we call as Ishvara. If it is plugged into the individual one, it is called individual consciousness. Whether it is the individual consciousness, multiple millions of 7 billion people, or all other creatures, innumerable one, We all would like to realize we are the part of you. We are playing our part. Give the light to realize that, so that we can play our part. So if I am a hand, I want to play my part as a hand. I don't want to one day I look at my leg. So leg is doing a better dance than my hand. Can I become the leg? I don't want to do that because you're not playing your part. So let me realize. Show me that light. Give me that jnana. And I am at your feet. And he says that I am frightened of the afflictions of the samsara in every respect, in every aspect. I deserve to be protected by you. Am I not deserved to be protected by you? Because I am you. I am your hand. I am your eyes. I am your thing. And everything that's acting is you. Then I am realizing that one, if I am the part of you, don't you protect me? That's your duty. So Bhakta is telling on that one. And when Bhakta is telling that means it's a self-realization. Aham Brahmasmi already taken place on that one. And that's the beauty of this poem on this. And at this time, I'll stop and then open for the questions.
Wonderful.
Very good.
Wonderful.
Tell you?
Question. I
Tell me
mean,
the story of
it
Manu.
matches with the organic
Manu,
evolution.
I don't know the story on the Manu.
Oh, Manu, okay. This is interesting. Our creation, what's the time, how much time left?
Yeah.
Yeah. This creation is, because before tell about the Manu, we need to understand this.
Okay.
Entire creation is based upon 5 entities. First 3 entities we talked about. One is Ishvara, Jagat, and Jiva. We talked about God, you, which is Jiva, Jivatma, Paramatma, and Jagat, the stage. These 3 we already know. What are the 2 other things? If there is no time, if there is no space, there is no play. So all these 3 entities there. If there is no time, there is no morning and evening, there is no school hours and there is no cooking hours, all those things, because the time, even for the cooking or going to the school, you need the space. So the time and space is another 2 factors in this entire creation, right? Out of this thing, if you take out the space and time is 1, then the 5th one is called karma, activity. All of them are time, up to time is eternal. Karma is not eternal. It is temporary. Because you come and you play, karma can be exhausted and you can go back and there is no karma activities. There is no, there is no, the second one, there is no play. In order to do that one, this realization of this one, the time has been divided into 14 manvantaras. Manu, each one has 14 manus are there in one day of the Brahma. In one day of Brahma, manvantaras, 14 manvantaras are there. So how one day is calculated the Brahma? And Brahma lives for 100 years. Just to understand this one, and it's a big calculation. One day of the Brahma, we are talking about 14 manvantaras. Okay? And Brahma lives 100 years. And let's calculate what it is that one. I told you, Kali Yuga is how many years? 432,000 years. And 2 of them Dwapara, 3 of them Treta, and 4 of them Satya. All together is called Mahayuga. And one Mahayuga is equivalent to 4.32 billion years.
8.4.
No, that is night. Day.
Both put together 8.4.
8.4.
Yeah.
So day is 4.32 billion and then double because 12 hours. And then that calculation, once you have that Mahayuga, and that Mahayugas, 1,000 Mahayugas together as 14 manvantaras, that 1,000 Mahayugas is equivalent to the one day of the Brahma.
So,
One day.
basically 4 युग मिला के
Chaturyuga is called.
Chaturyuga is equal to 4.32
Billion.
4.32 दिन का टाइम 4.32 रात का टाइम मिला के 8.32
Billion
billion years
is one day and night of the Brahma.
one day and
One
night.
full day of Brahma. So day and night together.
Day
is
only,
okay.
no night.
No, day is 4.32, night is 4.32.
Yeah,
Well,
one
Yeah,
full
that-
day.
that's it.
Yesterday we were studying.
Yeah, that is 8.4 only.
8.4.
right?
Yeah, 8.4.
But it was not day and night, just a day.
No,
But
no, no.
I don't know. I mean, you can, whatever calculation, this has been done.
Oh, yeah,
they
it has
were-
been done. It has
so
been
it
done.
does
No,
not-
but
But
now, coming back to that
right.
one.
You
So,
see,
now,
12 hours and 12 hours, if you take it 24 hours, right?
Right.
So 12 hours they considered as a daytime and 12 hours as a night time. Both put together is 8.4 billion years.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
and this day also, I'll come to this in Manvantara, Manu, how the Mahotsava, that one. So the day, why the day and night, we call this 8.64. All together 1 day and 30 days and 360 days and then 100 years. You know how many there are? 311.0454 and all those things. And this 1 day is equivalent to the pi value. Pi value. 1 day of the Brahma is equivalent to the pi value, and Brahma lives 311 point so trillion years.
There you go.
Trillion years.
ये है उसकी जिंदगी ब्रह्मा की.
Now, one more wonderful adbhuta is that this 100 years of Brahma is equivalent to either one breath of Vishnu or one flash time of the eyelid of the Vishnu. And imagine what is the lifespan of the Mahavishnu. This is behind our conception, perception. But how do you calculate this? It's nothing but by intuitive knowledge by rishis.
So it's a vision. It's the vision.
It's a vision,
rather than-
darshana. That's called darshana on that one. So coming back to this Manu. 14 Manus. We are in the 7th Manvantara. We have passed 150 the trillion years. 311 years is there, right? 150th on the first day of 7th Manvantara. And in the 7th Manvantara, in this Manu, there are these things will happen. Many Brahmas comes and many Brahmas goes. There are, Nitya Pralayas, Atyantik Pralayas, all the Pralayas are there. Withdrawal will be there complete. Daily the mosquitoes comes and goes and we live for 100 years, we go. Everything is going right. This is the Nitya Pralaya. Nitya Pralaya. Atyantika Pralaya is even the Brahma. Brahma also,
Also
Prakriti
goes.
Pralaya, yeah, all those also go up. So during this Manu, that Manu time, the Mahotsava. So avatars of the Krishna, Balarama, all those things happened many times. Brahmas are many times. It is not one time thing. So this time in Manvantara, 7th Manvantara, this Manu, when he was ruling, that there is an expectation of this deluge. So during that time, the fish comes, Vishnu comes on that one. Okay, deluge is going to come because he was the ruler, he was the holder of the Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu comes to the rescue. So he comes in the form of the fish, and Manvantara already Manu knows that he puts everything in that one, and it is on the Kshira Sagar because it's a big deluge. Everything is going to work out. For the next creation, he has to save all those things. Likewise, when we are dying, when we complete our lifespan here, our body is Annamaya Kosha only outside. It will be going to the Panchabhutas. It will go into the earth or water or thing. But inside that one, how many koshas? There are 4 other koshas. Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, then
Jnanamaya.
These all, rest of the 4 Anandamaya Koshas, including that one, 4 koshas, they will go with you. Prana, the spirit, will be attached to that internal. They will take with you. So this prana will carry that one. There is a beautiful explanation I have written one article on that one, is Arsha, and with the name of the Himalaya story. And this prana will grab that one because you are attached still, this Atma, Jivatma, and attached to that, you take your own baggage with you and then wait for the next one. And the next one will be coming through both by the rain comes onto the earth becomes the plant becomes the seed or whatever we eat will become the anna. And then during that time, male produces the sperm, female produces the ovum, they put together, and that karana sharira will be entering into that one. And you become according to that. And that is also same thing. It is explained in the Mahotsava that once you have done your act, cosmic act, you put the baggage together, wait, rest there, and come back next again. And that's the beauty of that, how I explained on that. And every avatar has a meaning on that. Every avatar has a meaning on that one. Now, one of the things I wanted to tell you is about the grace. Now we are telling, everybody asks, did you see the God? Did you ever talk to the God? Did you experience the God? That is nothing but it's a grace. Now we see every day we come and we do the Panchayajna here, idol worship. Everybody asking this grace. Where are the God? Where is the God? I'll tell you small, the thing it was told many times by Dayananda Saraswati is that there is a warning with all this system now, with the weather report, there is a warning that there is a deluge or flood is going to come, cyclone, like in Florida, many times it happens, right? So there is a warning. But the guys, we are attached to the bhakti, attached to that, I am a Rama Bhakta, I am a Krishna Bhakta, nothing will happen. And it has, because the bhakti has a stabilized mind and then everything happening good for him because of the previous karma. Everything is, punya karma is doing good. So he always believed everything that is doing, everything happening good, So, but when this deluge or the flood is coming, his own family member's brother lives on the side of his house. Brother comes and said, "Hey, I heard this on the radio or the TV that there's a flood is coming. Oh, that is God will take care of that. These are all in the news. It happened in Florida. A lot of people did not go out because of the belief they had. So the brother came and said, no. So then there is a warning system by the governor and everybody, but still others also, the neighbors, not only brothers, right? Neighbors came and said, please get out, otherwise, there will be a problem that you lose your life. No, God is there, Lord Krishna will come and, And then the flood came, his house is flooding, he has to go down the roof. And then there is the rescue operations and the boat also came. Hey, it's going to be, please come, No, Lord Krishna will have it. Then, and then he drowned, he died, he went to and then, where did he go? Narka. Even though he has been praying and everything, all those things, and he got Naraka. So then, he goes to at the gate, Yamadharmaraj is there, and then guards are there, and then he asks the question, I have, where is that God that I have been praying on that one? And then Yamadharmaraj says that, hey, I came you in the form of your brother. I asked to get out. You didn't come. I came you as a neighbor. I came you as a boatman. I came you everything. Every time you refused me. So grace comes in the form of human beings, form of everything. Grace. God is everywhere. God is everything. He comes in one other form, in one other name, and He will rescue you on that. You have to believe in that.
Yep.
Okay.
That should do it. In fact, this entire, from scientific perspective, the organic evolution, that is the Newtonian or the Darwinian hypothesis, it is also corroborated by the life arose in water. Then the amphibian the one that can live both on the land and
Now it is called a virus.
and in the water. Then you have Vara, which is a mammalian system, right? Then you have a Narsimha avatar,
Right.
half animal, half.
Right.
So you are beginning to change from the
Consciousness.
right?
Yeah.
Then you have a pygmy,
Right.
or the so-called
Vamana.
Vamana, right? Then you have a Parshurama, still a very violent person,
Violent.
right? So you still, humanity is very violent, killing each other.
Right.
Then of course Rama comes,
Right.
who idealized
Right.
what it is to be human.
Then the Krishna is
Then
the
Krishna
supremacy.
comes, he teaches the pragmatic way of living the life, or the practical way of living the
Right.
life. Right?
Right.
So you have to balance both. Now once you have come as a human form, the psychosocial evolution, if you use non-spiritual terminology, take place within yourself,
Right.
in your mind, or purification of mind, which is what the entire process we call spiritual evolution. It can also be, for a non-spiritualist or atheist,
Right.
you can call psychosocial evolution.
Right.
So, but the Vedanta takes up from there,
Right. Right.
rather than all psychological come up to there, right? Then Vedanta has to be taken, because the non-duality is only in Hindus' perspective.
Right.
There is no other system on this planet that consider non-duality. That is the only way you can create peace in the world. There is no other way. But peace, there will be no time where there will be everybody at peace.
Right.
Because the gunas are controlling everything, right?
Right.
And everybody has a different level of evolution.
Yeah, definitely. And that,
Doctor, just one information, as per the Puranic approach, they say that any avatara, the description is, an avatara should never come through the human yoni.
human.
It's not normal birth, it should not have it. That is why Shankaracharya is not an avatara. Even though there is a mythical story there for Shankara, that Shankara is the Shiva, Mandana Mishra is the Brahman, Umaya Parvati is the Saraswati, and Padmapata is Vishnu. All the stories are there. Even then it is not accepted. Same way, Buddha can never be accepted as a avatara, because they are all yoni birth,
Right.
that cannot be accepted. That is why Balarama or Krishna or even Ram has not come through the yoni. He took that payasam, that key.
But I think that is, I have a hard time to take that as a
No,
fact.
excuse me, Patel. See, what is happening, it is the Puranic explanation.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to
You
say.
cannot.
It is not our interpretation. Puranic explanation says, and when it comes to Bhagavad Gita, very important discussion that is taking place. What is happening is, suddenly Krishna transforms himself to the Virat Rupa. Okay? So Arjuna is not able to see that. He is afraid. He requests Krishna immediately go back to the normal thing. That could be done only by avatara. Whereas either Shankaracharya or what he called Buddha, if you take it, no, it is not their thing.
So I will take an exception to that.
How?
Just because I don't think even in
Pratipakshawada.
right.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
need to because the thing is, nature
But
doesn't.
one thing, it is not my opinion. Purana says.
Purana, no, Ritam is an
What
order.
he's saying is his.
अब तो हो गया.
Ritam is an order, means God never, or even Avatara never violate order. Therefore, we have two mothers for Krishna. Not only one, but two mothers. Rama also has a mother. None of the Avatara, none, has a, what you call the non-yoni avatar. It is always through yoni. Nature never violates order. That is the only Vedantic vision. Nature cannot violate order.
You are absolutely right, but correction that one is, or my opinion is that you are right, Purana is right. Why I am telling is that one, But that birth taking place through the yoni is right, but that yoni, that blastomere or the ovum that and combined with the sperm is not by the male female of the human origin.
See, for the entire process will collapse if you are saying that. Let me just explain to you. When you say you and the God are identical, how can you say that? Because it is a production through the same system.
Right. You are saying it because of a Vyavaharik level.
No, Vyavaharik, that's fine.
Right.
But Vyavaharik is what? Only expression can be through the system.
Right.
That is what we call rhythm. If it outside the rhythm, then there is something magical. And magical is not accepted by the system. Even Vedanta cannot accept that.
Right.
Vedanta will never accept it.
Right.
Otherwise you cannot evolve. You cannot evolve.
Vimalji, you're right, but only thing is, what happens is, yeah, you can.
I'm
So,
sorry.
let me do the
prayer then.
Okay, let's do that and then.
Yeah.
Then
Purnamadam,
continue.
this is the prayer will tell you that.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
All right.